HOA sold my ranch while I was deployed. I came home and sued every one of them. The sun beat down on the cracked earth of my Montana ranch, the only place I'd ever called home. For 30 years, I'd poured my soul into that land, raising cattle, mending fences, and dreaming of passing it to my kids one day. But war called and I answered, leaving my ranch in the care of my homeowners association, led by Karen Whitaker, a woman with a smile sharper than barbed wire. I trusted her. That was my first mistake. 18 months later, I returned, scars on my body and heart, expecting to find solace in the rolling hills. Instead, I found a stranger's mansion where my barn once stood. My ranch gone, sold. Karen had orchestrated it all, forging my signature, claiming I'd abandoned the property. The HOA board, her loyal puppets, backed her story. My blood boiled. This wasn't just theft. It was betrayal, a knife twisted deep by people I'd called neighbors. I sued them all: Karen, the board, even the lawyer who notarized the fake deed. The courtroom became my battlefield, every glance a grenade. Karen sat smug, her tailored suit a stark contrast to my faded uniform. She spun lies about my instability, whispering I'd lost my mind overseas. The board members squirmed, avoiding my gaze, their silence louder than any confession. My lawyer, a grizzled veteran named Tom, fought hard, but the odds felt stacked. Evidence vanished, witnesses clammed up, and Karen's money greased too many palms. Then came the twist. During a recess, a nervous woman slipped me a crumpled note. She was Ellen, a former HOA secretary, fired by Karen for asking too many questions. Her note led me to a hidden file: emails between Karen and a developer, plotting to sell my land for a luxury estate long before I deployed. Ellen's conscience had finally broken her silence. She took the stand, her voice trembling but resolute, exposing Karen's scheme. The courtroom gasped. Karen's smirk faltered, and for the first time, I saw fear in her eyes. But justice is a slippery thing. The judge, a local with ties to the developer, seemed torn. Tom pushed harder, presenting the forged deed alongside Ellen's evidence. I stared at the jury, ordinary folks like me, praying they'd see the truth. Days dragged on, each one heavier than the last. I'd lost my ranch, but this fight was for dignity, for the promises I'd made to my late father, who'd built that land from nothing. The verdict came on a gray morning. Guilty. Karen and 2 board members were convicted of fraud and conspiracy. The lawyer got a slap on the wrist, but I didn't care. I wanted my ranch back. The judge ordered restitution, but the land was already subdivided, sold off to wealthy newcomers. Karen's assets were frozen, yet her developer friend walked free, untouchable. The courtroom emptied, but my victory felt hollow. I'd won the battle, but my home was gone forever. Outside, Ellen found me, her eyes red. She apologized, said she should have spoken sooner. I thanked her, but the weight of her words lingered. If one person had stood up earlier, could this have been stopped? I drove to the edge of what was once my property, now a gated community with manicured lawns. The hills still whispered my name, but they weren't mine anymore. I thought of the soldiers I'd served with, the ones who never came home, and wondered if this was the America they died for. Karen faced prison, but her kind always finds a way to slither back. The developer's shadow loomed large, a reminder that money often outruns justice. I rebuilt my life, renting a small cabin nearby, but the ache never left. Ellen became a friend, her courage a flicker of hope in a world that too often rewards the Karens. Yet I couldn't shake the bitterness. My ranch wasn't just land, it was my past, my future, stolen by greed and cowardice. What would you do when trust is shattered and justice feels incomplete? Share your thoughts on where the line between right and wrong blurs in a community torn by greed.